The simplified sewer system, as the word goes, is simplified. It's not like the conventional sewer systems. And in the informal settlement regions of Nairobi, we have a lot of challenges that the conventional sewer system cannot really adopt to. Again, we have the challenge of rapid urbanization that leads to poor planning. The roads are not they are not done. The houses are not done in an orderly manner. And also the population that living in the informal settlements it's rapid. It's like today is 200, tomorrow is 300. So there's a lot of movement. And for that matter, we had to look for a package that is going to fit the informal settlement areas. That's why we went for the simplified sewer system.
So the basic considerations when initiating a plan or trying to implement a simplified sewerage system in any city, and Nakuru included, may include assessments of the population. We may need to look at the population forecasts, the census data that we have. What is the density that is in the area we intend to serve? These may give us the clues as to, like, for example, how much water they are using, what is the demand for water, and therefore how much wastewater may we expect to be generated from such an area. Other issues may include issues like topography. Do we have an area that can easily drain? Do we have existing services? It's very important because some of these systems, like for simplified sewers, we usually look at them as last mile connectivity solutions. So existing infrastructure is important in that area. So those are some of the issues we'll look at when you are trying to assess and plan for these systems.
So one of the advantages of implementing a simplified sewer system, especially for the customer, is that the cost of connection is considerably lower compared to connecting to the traditional sewer systems. So you'll find that because they don't necessarily have to construct their own manhole and it's not too far off from where they need to be connected, it reduces the cost that they initially have to incur to transition to this new system. And again, because of also elimination of some of these manholes, the company itself also does not incur the cost and is able to cover a wider area.
After the system was implemented, now it is about the sustainability. And sustainability of the system entails how to maintain this sewer system to be able to be functional at all times. So for us, the behavioral changes that we had to inculcate in these people is how to use the sewer system and which tools to use in this the sewer network in itself, and how to maintain it at a plot level. Because once you do a sewer network, the thing that follows is now the maintenance of it, which is usually not envisioned by so many people, because that is what brings about sustainability, is how you look up to this sewer now. Now that we have given you a sewer, the ownership of it comes from how you take care of it, how from the manhole level, from the plot level into the manhole, into now the treatment plant. So for us, the main focus was about from the plot level to the main manhole, because that is where we tell them to use the right tools. That is, if I can just elaborate, the tissue paper, to use the right tools, not to dump the sanitary wares, not to dump the diapers into the washroom, into the manholes or into the toilets, because that is what they were used to do. So those are some of the behavioral changes we had to enact in them after the project, after implementation.
Well, one of the key benefits is that we've been able to clean the environment. Remember, the sewers were flowing before previously just randomly. Then also these pit latrines are drilled down into the earth, so they were actually damaging environmentally. It was damaging the structure of the ground. Yeah. So one, we've taken away the issue of damaging the environment. We've cleaned the environment. We've provided a safe, hygienic sanitation solution to the environment, to the residents of informal settlement. And then we have involved them, because when it comes to maintenance, they're actually involved in the maintenance part of it. The inspection chamber that is just outside the house, they are in charge of it. So they are part of the project, they are part of the process.
Okay.
So in as far as gaps and opportunities are concerned when it comes to simplified sewer systems, the current water and sanitation sector in Kenya has in a way embraced simplified sewer systems. However, there are some significant gaps that need to be worked on, among them being the financing for construction of simplified sewers. And financing here is not just limited to the actual construction or putting in funds to deliver the construction, but it also includes the upgrade of sanitation containment facilities at the household level. In a place where we have families accessing sanitation through latrines, that means toilets have to be upgraded to power flush so that they're able to be connected to the simplified sewer system once it's constructed. Another gap that I can say is in place at the moment is a skills gap for the technical and social teams of the water service providers in Kenya. Simplified sewers is fairly still a new alternative means of construction for the sector, and us as WSUP, having trialed it in Nakuru, Naivasha and Nairobi, have been able to build the capacity of water service provider staff so that they're able to develop the designs, but also able to engage with the communities regarding its usability and also measures to put in place just to curb any unexpected damages for the system, as well as trying to relay the need to actually pay for the service, because it's one thing to extend a sewer network and it's another to inform the household that they will now have to pay for a service that is going to cover the operation and maintenance of that system. Another gap that I could say is in place is the fact that the current water sector building codes, and I mean sanitation building codes and policies or manuals, do not incorporate simplified sewers as an alternative. That means that there is a gap for the utilities when they need to adopt or to construct in their respective areas of coverage. However, it has been a work in progress with the utilities so that we're able to actually customize these manuals to better capture the sector and how it can be applicable. So one of the very obvious opportunity is that the water sector has an opportunity to update and review the National Sanitation Practice Manual to actually incorporate simplified sewer systems as an alternative. And that means that utilities or water service providers will now have policy guideline with which they can look up to as they're embarking on taking up simplified sewer systems in their areas of coverage. Another opportunity is to tap into the existing sewer trunk networks, because whereas we may have limited coverage for people accessing sewer services in general, there are existing sewer trunks that have been built with massive investments that have come into the sector over the years. And so there is an opportunity for funders, for donors, development partners, the government and the water service providers to actually put in some finance into now extending the simplified sewers, which has over time been proven to be more affordable or a low-cost alternative to construction of sewer networks. Another opportunity is now building the capacity of these teams that are actually handling or constructing the simplified sewer networks on the ground. That means working with the water service providers, co-developing the designs with them, providing technical backstopping regarding how the designs can best be suited to their respective areas, and just working with the social teams in a way that they're able to engage the households and the residents for sensitization regarding usage of this new way of construction or access to sanitation, but also on the need for them to pay these services, because at the end of the day, any introduction to a new alternative means of sanitation access needs to be sustainable. And so this will only be sustainable if households are able to also incur the costs through the monthly bills and are able to now support the water service providers to be able to manage these systems in the event of damages. Another opportunity would be for the sector to actually tap into the Article 43 of the Constitution of Kenya, which provides the right to access for residents or for Kenyans to acceptable standards of sanitation. And given that we are currently quite low on coverage generally with regards to sanitation, this is an alternative way among the many that the sector can tap into to ensure that coverage is reached within the 2030 vision, and also, as per indicated in the NWSUP, which is the National Water Sanitation Investment Plan of Kenya.